For those of you that like cars, this case is about 1976 Ford Ranchero. But if you're watching my video for the legal aspect, this case is about an individual being pulled over by the US Border Patrol agents near the US-Mexico border. The Fourth Amendment protects you against unreasonable searches and seizures. What that means is law enforcement need to have reasonable suspicion in order to stop a vehicle. Now, something to remember, the US Border Patrol agents in California do not have authority to pull over a vehicle for simple traffic violations. What they need is reasonable suspicion that you're violating some federal law. Usually that means laws that deal with narcotics or immigration type offenses. In this case, we have Mr. Rodriguez, who is a Hispanic male driving down Interstate 8, which stretches from San Diego all the way to Yuma, Arizona, along the southern border. We have Border Patrol agents who testify that Interstate 8 is notorious for alien smuggling because of its proximity to the border. Now they're sitting about 20 feet away from the highway and observing traffic. As Mr. Rodriguez passes by, he has both hands on the wheel and he does not look or acknowledge the Border Patrol agents. The Border Patrol agents testify that most of the traffic usually looks at them as they pass by. So they decide to follow the vehicle, and as it's driving, it seems like the suspension is sluggish, or it kind of floats over the bumps. So they think it's heavy loaded. They decide to pull over the vehicle because Mr. Rodriguez once looks in the mirror, and because of that, he swerves within his own lane. So they pull the car over and they find 168 pounds of marijuana in the car. The Ninth Circuit says that there was no reasonable suspicion to pull Mr. Rodriguez over, and that the evidence seized must be suppressed. Here's why they say that. Number one, it seems like these facts have been recycled. In this case, the Ninth Circuit publishes other facts and other cases where the circumstances have been exactly the same. And the second issue is that the Border Patrol agents seem to paint an innocent driving behavior as criminal. So let's think about it. They say that Interstate 8 is notorious for alien smuggling. Well, millions of people use Interstate 8 to travel along the southern border. It's a major interstate. So innocent people drive on the highway as well. We have a 1976 Ford Ranchero. They testify that this vehicle is often used for alien smuggling because it's convenient.
Driving four trucks can outdo Chevrolet in any event.
Well, okay, but watch it.
While Quiet and Cal mount up, let me take a minute to tell you about the El Camino, the hottest prestige pickup on the road. Not only pretty, but practical. Ford claims to have a box as big as ours, but is it all usable space? You judge for yourself. Now then, let's see who's got the most gold.
Well, again, this case is from 1992, so at that point it was a 16-year-old vehicle. There were a lot of Ford Rancheros on the road, and innocent people used it as well. Also, when we found the drugs in the car, there was only 168 pounds of marijuana. While it might seem like a large amount of drugs, it's really the weight of one adult. So it's unrealistic for the court to think that the car would behave or drive differently, more sluggish, or float over the bumps because of one extra adult in the car. It just does not seem realistic. The fact that Mr. Rodriguez does not acknowledge law enforcement does not seem to be a problem as well. A lot of people driving on the highway would not look left and right and acknowledge cars that are parked. In fact, it's probably safer for you to keep both hands on the wheel and keep looking on the road as you're driving highway speeds. So the court says there's no issues with that as well. So in short, what we have is a Hispanic male driving a 16-year-old car carefully, looking forward. And because of that, he gets pulled over. And the court says, no, the evidence must be suppressed because there was no reasonable suspicion to pull him over. If you like this video, please click like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button so next time I post, you'll be first to know.